bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
See, he's going to gather all nations, because all nations got a hand in it too. He's going to have to beat up the whole world to do this. Because just like, again, we in America and other countries, scattered in bondage, don't know where home is. You can't even get up and say, I want to go home now. You can't get up and say you want to go home. Because technically you don't even have no home no more. So the only way you going to get a home is God going to have to do it. So that's what he's talking about here. He said, I'm going to gather all nations, bring them down to where he going to judge them at, the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's Armageddon. That's where Jehovah judged. And will plead with them for who?
I will plead with them there for my people and my heritage Israel.
Oh, he going to plead with them for his people, his heritage Israel. Go ahead.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
That's where Israel is, scattered among the nations. And what about the promised land?
And parted my land.
And parted his land. See, they split it up into parts. All of them got a piece, now they fighting over the rest. They split it up, they parted it. You in slavery, they split your land up. Go ahead.
And they have cast lots for my people.
Now this is what Israel went through, just straight humiliation. Auction block stuff. Cast lots for my people. What else?
And have given a boy for an harlot.
And they gave a boy for a prostitute. That means that you wasn't nothing but property. They said, well, I want to sleep with a prostitute here. I ain't got no money, but take this boy. He should be worth something. Because you property. This is what God is saying. People say, well, you shouldn't talk like that. Look, we reading the Bible. He said, they have cast lots for my people and given a boy for an harlot. Go ahead.
And sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
And sold a girl for wine. Who been bought and sold like property in this country? Only one people. Not the people that call themselves Jews, has it? Go ahead.
Yea. And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine?
He mentioned all of Israel's neighbors, Tyre and Zidon, the black people. See, that's why I keep telling people it's not a black thing. Other black people sold Israel, which is also black, into slavery. It's not a black thing. You need to understand that. It's a nationhood thing. Israel is one black nation from among many black nations. He's talking about black people here. He said, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Now, we already know Edom and Ishmael was at the head of the list. And he named a whole bunch of people, including Tyre, didn't he? See, he said, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Why?
Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
He said, look, what have you to do with me? You going to pay me back? He said, look, I'm going to pay you back. Well, what have they done concerning Israel? Because this is about Israel. Go ahead, verse 5.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
So you done took some of my stuff and took it to your temples. Go ahead.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Oh, so the Grecians represent the Gentiles, the Europeans. Well, they didn't just go somewhere to Africa and capture some slaves, did they? No, they went to Africa and bought some slaves. According to this, and if you read some real documentation, that's what you find. They show one movie like they showed some Gentiles going around hunting, looking for some blacks over there. No, it didn't happen like that. They made deals with people and brought slaves. They gave them rum, gave them alcohol, all kind of stuff. So he said, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold. Who sold them? Tyre and Zidon and other people, right? Unto the Grecians. See, the slave trade was big business. And plenty of other people have been sold and brought as slaves, but Israel as a nation is the only people as a whole nation been messed up like that. You talking about a whole people? That's right. That's what he's telling you. He said, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians that what?
That ye might remove them far from their border.
See, you want to remove them far from their border. See, but Edom had a hand in this as well. He mentioned Tyre and Zidon, but Edom, they orchestrating a lot of the deals. Go to Amos, the 1st chapter. See, they wanted to make sure Israel got far from their border, so they can claim the border. That's what they did. Because remember, when Jacob got that blessing, Esau hated him, right? we're going to see that hatred haven't stopped yet. It's perpetual. The Bible going to tell us that. Perpetual, ongoing hatred, continual. Amos 1 and 9. Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
Now, we were just reading about Tyre and Zidon, right? Well, thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment there. Because what did they do?
Because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant.
Oh, they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom. See, Edom always had their hand in it. So we going into captivity, hey, Tyre, hey, they take us and say, here, what y'all want to do with them? And Edom broker all kind of deals. Even, you know, they talk about how the Arabs had their hand in slave ships and all of that stuff. Well, they at the head of the list all the time. You still can't get away from Edom. He said because Tyre now delivered up the whole captivity to Edom and did what?
And remember not the brotherly covenant.
Go ahead, verse 10.
But I will send a fire on the walls of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof.
Now you're going to get to Edom. What's wrong with Edom? Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
But what has Edom done? Go ahead.
Because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
Who is his brother? Jacob. That's his brother. That's the title of the lesson. Esau's hatred against Jacob. So he said, he did pursue his brother with the sword. Go ahead.
And did cast off all pity.
And ain't had no pity. Go ahead.
And his anger did tear perpetually.
That's continually. Go ahead.
And he kept his wrath forever.
And he kept his wrath forever. See, that's why no matter what we try to do something, which the only thing we need to do is turn back to God and serve him. We can try all this other stuff. But whenever you try something else, Edom going to get his hand in and mess him up because he want to make sure you stay in the position you in. But now, he said his anger did tear perpetually and he kept his wrath forever. Verse 12.
But I will send a fire upon T-Man, which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah.
See, that's another name for Edom. That's something, if we would have read Father in Genesis 36, these are his children's names. T-Man is one of his sons' names, one of his dukes. The dukes of Edom. He said T-Man and Bozrah. These are his descendants' names, so the Lord called them by that too. Now, we're going to go further. Go to Obadiah 1. It gets clear and clear. Because again, people say, well, you know, that's back there. Look, we're going to bring it on home. We're going to bring it to the end because this story is not over yet. The story of them 2 twin babies born is not over yet. We at the end of it, but we at the point still where Esau then rose up and broke the dominion off of his neck of Jacob. But in the end, the elder still got to serve the younger. So he got to go back to his rightful place. Obadiah 1 and verse 1. It's only one chapter. Obadiah 1 and 1. Go ahead.
The vision of Obadiah. Thus says the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
You think you got all these verses and scriptures about Edom just for no reason? Look, this is important stuff. And again, we're going to show it's still more to be fulfilled down to the return of Jesus. Verse 2.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
See, now Edom, the one that called himself a Jew, he done went through some trouble, and he is small among the heathen, because probably next to us, people don't like him either. But we most hated of all, right? But then other people, a lot of people got hatred for him as well. But he said that. He said, I made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. But see, the difference in Edom and us, Edom is on top running things, and that's why he's hated in many cases. We on the bottom can't do nothing and still hate it. So that's the difference between Edom and Israel. And we're going to see that. We're going to see where Edom is. Let's see where he at. Verse 3.
The pride of thy heart have deceived thee.
See, they pride for the pride of their heart have fooled them too. because they high on the hill. They living good, whereas Israel is not living good. The pride of your heart hath deceived thee. Go ahead.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
See, that don't mean they in some rock somewhere dwelling in some mountain. That mean they living high in the cliffs of the rock. That's what he mean. Whose what?
Whose habitation is high.
That's what he mean. Whose habitation is high. They running everything. That's why it ain't no surprise the guy just got elected mayor in Chicago. I knew that when they sent all these jakes out, fooled these jakes, and had them vote for the Hamite. I knew that was coming. Because who was behind the Hamite? Nobody but Esau. But y'all don't know that. Y'all don't understand that. Some of y'all was voting, but go ahead. But go ahead.
That said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
See what he said? He said, the pride of your heart hath deceived thee. That's what Edom is, full of pride. That dwellers in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? He said, look, can't nobody bring me down to the ground. I'm running everything. But the Lord said, verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord. The Lord said, I'm going to bring you down no matter how high you are. But that's the difference between Edom and Israel. Israel is on the bottom now. We saw he was a slave. We saw he hanged his harps on the willows in the midst there, right? When he got carried away captive. That's been Israel's M.O., slavery. Edom's M.O., we reading here, is living high, living good. So that's how you're going to know the difference between who the real Jew is and who the one pretending is. Because the real one is on the bottom, according to the Bible. And Esau, he's on the top. Verse 5.
If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
See, the Lord said, look, I'm going to have to really do Esau in. I'm going to do him in. He said, I'm going to be honest. The Lord said, I'm going to be worse than a thief. Even a thief couldn't steal everything you got. You know, my mother used to joke, you know, we got our house broken into a few times. And one time they basically took everything. And she used to joke, say, yeah, I came home, we got moved out. We had moved, I didn't know it. Because they took everything. But actually, they didn't take everything, you know what I mean? They took everything they thought was important, but we still had some stuff. Because that's the way thieves do. They can't take absolutely everything. That's what the Lord said, verse 5. If thieves came to thee and robbers by night, and then he put in prison, how art thou cut off? I'm going to cut you off. Would they not have stolen till they had enough? Yes, that's what they do. They steal till you get enough. If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Yeah, they going to leave some grapes. They ain't going to get every last grape. But the Lord said, I ain't going to leave none, Esau. That's what he's saying. Verse 6.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
He said, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? See, Esau is hiding. Where is he hiding at? He's saying he's a Jew. That's where he's hiding at. Israel is hiding in captivity under the banner of Negro, colored, Kaffa, everything. You name it. Israel hiding from himself, but Esau hiding on purpose. He said, how are his hidden things sought up? Notice what happened, where Esau ended up at, verse 7.
All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
See, the men of the confederacy, remember it was a confederacy in Psalm 83, right? That's how Esau got to the border, got to the land. We're talking the land of Israel. Now, remember he had his own land just south of Israel. But that wasn't good enough. He wanted Israel land. When Israel went into slavery, Esau inched his way up and took Israel land. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Go ahead.
The men that were at